Hey guys, Mark here. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the belly fishtail paracord bracelet. Now I did some research about who created this bracelet, and as far as I can tell it was designed by Matthias Agnello, which is quite plausible since he is a very respected knot artist. The bracelet is quite unique, not only in its look, but the fact that it is made using a triple core. I have found that setting up this bracelet is the hardest part, not the weaving. I used about 12 feet of paracord for a bracelet which had about a 5.5 inch weave. With that said, let's get into the weaving process. We're going to start by setting up our bracelet. So I have my jig here and I have folded my cord in half, and I'm going to feed the top part through the buckle at the top, and then I'm going to move down to the other side of the buckle, and I'm going to attach both ends using a couple of cow hitches. So this is done by first taking the left cord and feeding it through the top of the buckle. We're then going to go over this cord using our working end, then go under the buckle and through, and finally through the loop that we created using this process. And with this we have our first cow hitch ready. We're now going to take our right cord and do the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction. So we're going to start by going through the top of our buckle, then over this cord with our working end, then under and through the buckle, and finally into the loop that we created using this process. So through the loop and tighten up your hitches at the bottom. We're now going to move to the top where we have our folded end, and we're going to remove some slack from it. We want it to be about as long so it reaches our buckle. And we're going to remove the slack by simply pulling it through one of the hitches. So like this. And we can now start by attaching our top end, which is done basically the same way that we used to attach the bottom, but we're also going to go through this folded piece. So we begin by going to the top of our buckle, then we're going to go through the folded end and over both of these cords on the left. So over these two cords, then under the top buckle end, and through, and finally through the loop that we created, just like we did at the bottom. And we're now going to do this with the right cord as well. So take your right end, go through the top of the buckle, then through the folded piece, then over the two cords on the right, so over these two, then under and through the top buckle end, and then into the loop that we made using this process. We're now going to tighten up everything nice and secure. And I'm also going to remove some slack from the middle where we can make things a bit tighter. So we have set up a 2-core setup, but we need another core. So we're going to continue by basically feeding our ends through the bottom 2 hitches to get the 3rd cord on each side. So basically take your working ends and feed them through the bottom hitches. I'm doing the right cord now. And then we're going to do the left as well. With this, we have prepared our setup and we can begin the weaving process. We're going to start with our right cord. You could start with your left just as well and go under 1, over 2, then under 3. So under 1, over 2, under 3 with our right cord, and then do the same with our left cord. So under 1, over 2, and under 3. We're now going to switch up the sequence a bit and go over 3, under 3 with our right cord, and then over 3, under 3 with our left. We're then going to start from the beginning, going under 1, over 2, under 3. And then with the left cord, the same thing, going under 1, over 2, and under 3. And again, we're going to switch up our sequence, going over 3, under 3, and then with the left, again over 3, under 3. And you can probably already see how this is woven. So one more time, under 1, over 2, under 3, then with the left, under 1, over 2, under 3. And we switch it up a bit by going over 3, under 3, and with the left, over 3, under 3. We're going to continue this process until we reach the top of our bracelet, and at which point we're going to start tightening it. I'm just going to do one more section and then we're going to continue. So continue all the way to the top. And once you have reached the top, it is time to tighten up the bracelet. The first thing you need to do is push down all of the sections that you have woven, which gives you more space at the top. You're also going to need to retighten this using both of the cords and simply pull the slack out until you reach your working ends. This will tighten up your bracelet securely and evenly. Once you have everything tightened up nice and even, it is time to finish our bracelet. So remove it from the jig, and we're going to work in our ends into the bottom of our bracelet. I usually use a lacing needle for this, and what I do is basically follow the side and tuck it in 3 sections down. Then pull the cord through, and once I have done this with both of my cords, I simply cut them off and melt them in order to secure everything. So guys, as you can see, this bracelet is not hard to tie, but it requires a lot of tightening, and the setup at the start is not as easy as in other bracelets. But I really enjoy the results, so I decided to show you this bracelet. In any case, thank you for joining me and see you next time.